Says it'll donate $1 to charity for each wish submitted with the hashtag Wishes Delivered. And that's going to do it for us here on KCAL 9 News at 9. There's more ahead. KCAL 9 News at 10 starts right now.
Live from the Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at 10. Live, local, late breaking.
Right now at 10, the hunt for a hit-and-run driver who severely injured a little boy.
Shot dead on the doorstep, a woman is murdered in front of a local house.
And day 2 of the storm, and the rain just keeps on coming. We are on Storm Watch tonight.
Hello, I'm Sylvia Lopez.
I'm Susie Sa. KCAL 9 is on Storm Watch tonight as parts of Southern California get the last punch of a record-breaking storm. This video is from Upland. And this is Devore. We've had so much rain in the last 2 days, in fact, that believe it or not, we are now above our seasonal average for the state.
Meteorologist Rich Fields, we could still get some more rain, right?
That's exactly right, Sylvia. We're talking about more scattered shower activity overnight tonight and throughout the day tomorrow, even less widespread rain, but still scattered shower activity is going to continue. Satellite and radar behind me now. The big swath of moisture that was coming in last night right over Los Angeles County has shifted now down to the south and east. The area of low pressure now has moved closer to the coast up in the Pacific Northwest. It will continue to move by to the north, and this entire storm will start moving off to the east as well. There's our what we call atmospheric river of moisture. It's still pumping in from the southwest up to the northeast. I'll go in a little closer on the satellite and radar composite. You can see how things are really starting to calm down offshore. Still shower activity moving onshore. There's the current Doppler radar, scattered at best through portions of Los Angeles County. A few more spotty showers coming into Oceanside and Orange County, and then filtering on into Riverside and San Bernardino counties at this hour. It looks like even a mix of rain and snow up through the higher elevations just outside of Big Bear at this hour. So we're talking about still having some watches and warnings in place, coastal flood advisories, beach hazard statements, flash flood watches. How long are these going to be in place, and how long can we still see rain? Details coming up in just a couple minutes. Sylvia, back to you.
All right, Rich, thanks. Well, the storm is bringing much needed rain to the Southland. It barely put a dent in our drought, but LA County crews were able to capture a whole lot of it. KCAL 9's Serene Branson is live in Glendora with a look at one way LA is fighting back against the drought. Serene.
And Sylvia, right now the rain has let up a little bit, but it was raining pretty good earlier tonight here in Glendora. Meantime, crews with LA County's Department of Public Works have been working around the clock to keep those debris basins clear. Now, they serve two purposes, essentially catching the mud flow and debris, but also capturing some 1 billion gallons of much needed water.
It looks real good right now.
Public Works Supervisor Stan Brown is keeping a close eye on the Hook Debris Basin. It's one of 6 above Glendora designed to trap mud flows and debris, but also capture water to recharge the local supply.
That's very important to us, particularly in this drought sort of situation that we're in right now. The current figure that we have is, as of today, as a result of this storm alone, we've been able to capture about 1.34 billion gallons of water. And that's probably enough for about 30,000 residents for a year.
That's wonderful. We need it so bad.
Burn area resident Jill Thompson welcomed the water and crews working overtime.
They've been up and down the street, the dump trucks, the tractors.
While the hillsides hold, crews say the rain won't wash away our drought worries.
It's a great amount of water for us. It's a drop in the bucket when it comes to helping us out in the drought situation. We need many more storm events such as this one over a number of years to even make a dent in the drought, but every little bit helps.
And to put things in perspective even more, a senior advisor to Governor Jerry Brown said we would need 150 days like today to make a dent in the drought. Meantime, as for that water, we're told by the county that it will be treated multiple times and will be a couple of years before that captured water makes its way to your faucet. Reporting live tonight in Glendora, Serene Branson, KCAL 9 News.
Okay, Serene, thank you so much for that. And Caltrans tells us tonight PCH in Malibu will reopen tomorrow. A 9-mile stretch between Las Posas and Yerba Buena Road has been closed since Sunday. That's when rain brought down rocks and mud from the cliffs above.
Developing news in San Fernando, where a 24-year-old woman died and 3 other people were hurt in a violent crash The accident happened on the San Fernando Road on-ramp to the westbound 118 freeway. It appears the SUV slid off the ramp into a school bus parking lot. The crash is under investigation.
Tonight, police hope this security video will help them find the driver who plowed into a 10-year-old boy, then sped away, leaving the critically injured child in the street. The hit and run happened at the intersection of North Main and Sichel Streets in LA's Lincoln Heights neighborhood. Tonight, KCAL 9's Andrea Fujii is live at County USC Medical Center where the boy is being treated. Andrea.
Well, Susie, I'm told the 10-year-old boy is still in critical but stable condition tonight. His parents did not want to speak with us on camera, but a witness told me that he was thrown at least 30 feet by a car that didn't even slow down. The top left corner of the security video shows 10-year-old Randy Villarreal walking with his friend on a bike in a marked crosswalk on Tuesday at about 5:30 p.m. when a car struck him and kept going. We won't show the moment of impact, but a second later, you can see his friend run to him. Diane Berrigan saw the whole thing.
That's where he got hit, and he flew literally 30 feet.
She says Randy was walking to this neighborhood store where he would come every day to buy a lollipop. Now she's praying for his recovery.
They're being kids. He's over there with his bike, with his rollers. He's so full of life. And for him to get hit like this, he didn't deserve it.
Other witnesses say the car was speeding, driving about 50 miles an hour and never slowed down. They hope the driver will come forward.
Do this to a 10-year-old kid, it's not right.
If you know anything about this accident, you're asked to call police. Reporting live outside County USC Medical Center, Andrea Fujii, KCAL 9 News.
All right, Andrea, thank you. A murder mystery in South LA. A woman was found shot to death on the front porch of a home. Her body was found in the 6100 block of South Wilton Place in Chesterfield Square. KCAL 9's Juan Fernandez is live at the LAPD 77th Street station with security video. Juan.
Well, Sylvia, we reached out to the coroner's office a short time ago. They tell us they have not been able to reach the next of kin of this victim, so we don't know who she is. And as a matter of fact, in the neighborhood where she was found this morning, neighbors don't know who she is either, which is of great concern as to how she ended up there in the first place. At least 2 early morning 911 calls brought LAPD officers to the front steps of this house in the 6100 block of Wilton Place.
He said he heard her screaming and he heard the shots, and he said he heard a car take off.
According to investigators, the woman who was screaming was shot in the head and later died. This man, who didn't want to be identified, told our Amy Johnson what he saw when he opened his front door.
She was gasping for air, and that's when I went to the bedroom, got the phone to call 911. Around the time the police came and I come to the door and stuff like this, they was out actually turning the corner. And when they got up here, I guess they said she was deceased.
A neighbor's home security cameras captured what appears to be the female victim walking to the front porch of the house. Moments later, a car pulls up, someone gets out, and 30 seconds after that jumps back in the car and backs away. Neighbors tell us they have no idea who the woman might be.
That's just real sad. To rob and to shoot, that's real sad and scary.
And as you saw there, the car that was backing out appears to have been missing one of the headlights in the front. Investigators are asking anyone in that area, it's a mixed commercial residential area, who might have videotape right around 4:30 this morning to give them a call to help in the investigation. We're live in South Los Angeles tonight. I'm Juan Fernandez, KCAL 9 News.
Okay, Juan, thank you so much for that. And we have breaking news right now. Police are out in full force in Oakland tonight trying to keep the peace amid new protests. Demonstrators are angry over a New York grand jury's decision to not indict a white New York City police officer who used a chokehold on an unarmed black man. That man died. In New York City, dozens of protesters have been arrested. Crowds staged die-ins and chanted the last words Eric Garner was heard saying on video just before he died in July. Well, now the U.S. Justice Department is planning its own investigation into Garner's death and the officer's actions. KCAL 9's Dave Bryan is live in our satellite center tonight with more on that. Dave.
Well, Susie, as you indicated, this case stemmed last July from an attempt by NYPD officers to arrest Eric Garner, who we just saw on videotape. And that tape caught the takedown. That's the issue in this case. The officers approached 43-year-old Eric Garner and accused him of selling loose cigarettes on the street.
I did not sell nothing.
The cell phone video was shot by a passerby on July 17th. Officer Daniel Pantaleo in the green shirt grabs Garner from behind around the neck and pulls him down with a chokehold and hangs on. Twice, Garner can be heard saying, "I can't breathe." I can't breathe. I can't breathe. The NYPD banned the use of chokeholds in 1993. The medical examiner ruled Garner's death a homicide caused by compressions to his neck and chest during the physical restraint by police.
I don't know what video they were looking at. Evidently, it wasn't the same one that the rest of the world was looking at.
Officer Pantaleo put out a written statement saying, "It is never my intention to harm anyone, and I feel very bad about the death of Mr. Garner." In Washington, President Obama said the issues raised by these cases supersede any racial or ethnic group.
When anybody in this country is not being treated equally under the law, that's a problem. And it's my job as president to help solve it.
Attorney General Eric Holder announced the Justice Department will open a civil rights inquiry into the case. And the grand jury on Staten Island has been hearing testimony and receiving evidence in this case since September. While in public, the case triggered debate over whether such an aggressive police response is appropriate in a case where the suspect is accused of a minor crime and is unarmed. Reporting live from the Satellite Center, Dave Bryan, KCAL 9 News.
All right, Dave. Matt Kozar from CBS New York was on the streets with protesters late tonight. He shows us what happened on the ground.
All across the city, they march. On the West Side Highway, protesters spilled onto the roadway and stopped traffic. Police made several arrests. This video shows a driver's perspective of the march after getting flanked on all sides.
The justice system is broken in this country.
At Grand Central, protesters laid on the floor in the main hall just as rush hour was underway. On 48th Street and the West Side Highway, it all came to a head. Cops and protesters clashed, dozens arrested, one person injured. At Rockefeller Center, the protesters tried to disrupt the annual tree lighting, but the NYPD wouldn't have it.
The lives of black young men, black children, they matter.
Police tell us so far they've arrested 17 people, but more arrests could follow if the protests continue through the morning. Matt Kozar, CBS 2 News.
And late tonight, protesters shut down the Brooklyn Bridge. We'll keep an eye on the situation in New York and bring you any new developments. Police in Ferguson, Missouri are investigating the stepfather of shooting victim Michael Brown. They want to know if Louis Head, seen here in the green and white shirt, intended to incite a riot. Had made inflammatory remarks after Officer Darren Wilson was not indicted for Brown's death, essentially saying burn the city down. Now Head is apologizing. He released a statement which said, in part, the last thing I truly wanted was to see Ferguson go up in flames. In spite of my frustration, it really hurt to see that. Now it's time to rebuild.
Mourners at the funeral of a 12-year-old Ohio boy shot to death by Cleveland police questioned the officer's training. Last month, someone called 911 after seeing Tamir Rice pointing a gun at a passerby, but cautioned that it could have been a fake. But that tip was never passed along to the patrol car sent to the scene. Just seconds after police arrived, Officer Timothy Lohman shot and killed the boy. A personnel report from Lohman's previous job with another Ohio Police Department said his handgun performance was dismal and that he was extremely immature. Relatives say the shooting is an outrage.
This is not an issue of black or white, but an issue of right and wrong.
But Cleveland police say they never saw the controversial personnel file before hiring Officer Lohman.
The couple accused of killing an 8-year-old Palmdale boy turned on each other in court today. The boy's mom hurled accusations at her boyfriend, and KCAL 9's Dave Lopez was there.
8-year-old Gabriel Fernandez, according to grand jury testimony, was beaten so severely before he died that he had a cracked skull, broken ribs, BB pellets were embedded in his lungs and groin, and he was pepper sprayed. His mother, Pearl Fernandez, and her boyfriend, Isidro Aguirre, are charged with his murder. A paramedic who treated 8-year-old Fernandez told the grand jury, quote, "It was just like every inch of this child had been abused." As the two made their appearance in front of Judge George Lamelli, he inquired about the possibility that this case may have a plea bargain, where they both plead guilty to escape the possibility of a death penalty.
We would hope that the matter could be resolved.
Not today, said the attorneys, and that led to this outburst by Ms. Fernandez.
Ms. Fernandez. You didn't go and kill my baby.
Jezreel Melly warned her to be quiet.
Ms. Fernandez, be careful what statements you're making at this point, because everything has been transcribed.
According to sources, Aguirre apparently wants to make a deal. In exchange for his guilty plea, he will go to prison for the rest of his life, and the district attorney would not pursue the death penalty. According to sources, Ms. Fernandez wants no part of that. She wants a trial, claiming she did nothing wrong.
One is trying to play the innocent role, that they had no part in it.
Emily Carranza is a cousin of Gabriel Fernandez.
They just either have to woman up or man up and take that deal and just get on with it.
Their next court appearance, early February. From downtown Los Angeles, Dave Lopez, KCAL 9 News.
3 LAPD officers are facing disciplinary action for shooting an unarmed man following a high-speed chase last December. Late tonight, the LA Times reported Chief Charlie Beck has rejected the officers' claims that they opened fire because they feared their lives were in danger. No word on any potential punishment. The LAPD told us tonight Chief Beck will discuss his findings in detail tomorrow morning.
A San Gabriel couple convicted, then cleared for the death of their adopted daughter is finally coming home from the Middle East after 2 years. Matthew and Grace Huang were all smiles after boarding a plane in Qatar. Over the weekend, a judge threw out a verdict which found them guilty of starving their 8-year-old daughter to death. But even after that ruling, Qatari immigration officials refused to let them leave the country. Well, that changed today when the family boarded a plane. They'll arrive home in LA sometime tomorrow, and they say they can't wait to see their other 2 children.
More women stepped forward today to accuse Bill Cosby of sexual assault. KCAL 9's Randy Page was there as the women told their stories.
His behavior was like that of a predator. I woke up in the back of my car alone. I could not open my eyes.
These 3 women, through a veil of tears, detailed allegations of sexual abuse that occurred decades ago, they say, at the hands of Bill Cosby. 2 say they were drugged and assaulted, another that she was fondled. They were brought to this conference room by attorney Gloria Allred, who said the statute of limitations may prevent these women from suing Cosby.
Today, I'm here to propose 2 new solutions to this public dilemma.
Allred said one solution is for Bill Cosby to voluntarily waive the statute of limitations and allow his accusers to sue him.
Under our proposal, the alleged victims could present their claims, and Mr. Cosby could present his defenses.
Allred's second solution is for Cosby to put $100 million into a fund.
And anyone who claims she was a victim could appear before a panel of retired judges who would serve as arbitrators to determine the merits of each claim.
Bill Cosby's attorney, Martin Singer, has not returned our calls, but in the past, Singer has called similar allegations baseless. Our legal analyst, Steve Meister, was willing to weigh in on Allred's proposals.
I don't know that anybody would really expect him to respond other than to completely ignore this. I should waive the statute of limitations. That's like saying, here, I have a loaded gun. Will you please let me shoot you?
But Allred says she is offering serious solutions to help heal deep wounds.
Let's have a process for dealing with this. That's the right thing to do.
In Los Angeles, Randy Page, KCAL 9 News.
Hollywood actors have been hacked. According to Variety, members of SAG-AFTRA were notified of a security breach at the payroll company used by many production companies. Hackers had access to names, addresses, social security numbers, and bank account information for actors paid through American Residuals and Talent.
The cyber attack at Sony Pictures has spread and now includes a major accounting firm, Deloitte. That is the firm that handles Sony's financial data. According to the New York Times, hackers got into Deloitte's computers and published the confidential salary information of more than 30,000 employees online. The FBI is investigating whether the so-called Guardians of Peace are linked to North Korea, as earlier reported, or whether this is the work of a disgruntled former employee.
We want to let you know Dish Network is threatening to drop CBS programming from its more than 500,000 satellite customers here in Southern California, and that programming includes CBS 2 and KCAL 9. CBS says it's eager to make a deal in line with other cable, satellite, and telephone companies. Dish says it is actively working right now to reach a deal to keep CBS programming for its customers. If no deal is worked out, CBS will go dark for Dish subscribers at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
NASA is just a few hours away from what it hopes will be the next giant leap for mankind. The Orion rocket is scheduled to launch from Cape Canaveral tomorrow. It's the first ship made to take astronauts out of low Earth orbit since the Apollo missions of the early 1970s. Researchers at JPL in Pasadena helped design it, but Orion is expected to eventually help astronauts land on an asteroid or on Mars.
We haven't had this feeling in a while. Since the end of the shuttle program, launching an American spacecraft from American soil and beginning something new.
Orion's flight should last about 4.5 hours. Then it's scheduled to splash down off the coast of San Diego.
Well, next to a 10 car lot crash. A driver loses control and flies into a car lot. Up next, hear from a woman who was in one of those vehicles.
Plus, a school bus packed with kids goes up in flames.
A local high school football player survives a frightening crash and is now leading his team to the CIF championship game. I'm Peter Delt, live in Hacienda Heights. I'll have the details coming up.
Cloudy, cold, spotty shower, 67 officially downtown this afternoon. Receiving more showers downtown, 65 right now. Same for Orange County Metro. Complete 7-day forecast is coming up.
And all first birthdays are special, but this one is a miracle. We're at the party for a child who was given a 1% chance to live.
But first, here's what's hot on KCAL9.com, where we are always on. KCAL9 News at 10. We'll be right back.
Is there something in your community that David Goldstein should investigate? Call the KCAL 9 Investigates tip line at 818-655-2442 or email your tip to KCBS TV Investigations at cbs.com.
A school bus erupted in flames in Florida. All 37 students on board made it out safely thanks to the bus driver, who's now being called a hero. She noticed smoke coming from the back of the bus and pulled over to call 911 just before the bus ignited. No one was hurt.
Caught on camera, a driver slams into several cars at a car dealership, and there were people in one of those vehicles.
The couple was about to drive off the lot in their new truck.
Yeah, but when they looked up, they saw another truck flying at them. Take a look.
We were parked here.
Angie Miley can't forget that red pickup coming at her.
He came in right there.
She was in the black pickup at the bottom of your screen.
We had just bought a vehicle.
Not just any vehicle, her dream truck. Miley works at this Beaumont, Texas dealership. She was getting ready to drive her new truck home.
All of a sudden, we heard crashing and looked over, and the truck hit the vehicles, slung up on its side, and slammed back down.
It was a boom, almost like a cannon.
Miley jumped out of her truck and ran to help the driver.
There was smoke and the horn, and I just knew that he had to be out of there, because if it was on fire, I would have died if he burned up.
Police believe the driver hydroplaned on a wet road and lost control. He was dazed by the impact, but not hurt.
Well, the driver totaled 3 cars and damaged 3 more. The final estimate for the wreck, more than $300,000.
A local student survives a crash that should have killed him.
Well, now he's leading this team to a possible championship. His story is coming up next.
And a SWAT officer shot in the line of duty. Thanks the people who helped save his life.
Exploding airbags, one automaker issues a nationwide recall.
And the Lakers road trip continued tonight in Washington, where they can look to stay unbeaten against the Eastern Conference. Highlights ahead in Sports Central. And a reminder to join us tomorrow as we kick off this year's Chips for Kids toy drive. We'll be broadcasting live all day.
Yeah, bring a new unwrapped toy to our studio here in Studio City or several other locations. You can find the list on kcal9.com. Wow, a remarkable and inspirational story from Hacienda Heights tonight. It's about a star high school football player who will help lead his team during this weekend's championship game. Remarkable because only 6 months ago, he was hit by a car and seriously hurt. Tonight, KCAL's Peter Doubt with a story in Hacienda Heights. Peter.
Not many people can take on a car moving at 30 miles an hour and win, but Los Altos High School student David Tomlichoff has proven just that. David Tomlichoff is used to taking hits on the field as a star lineman for Los Altos High School in Hacienda Heights. But it's the hit he took off the field that has everyone talking.
Man, I flew through a lot.
The 17-year-old senior was hit by this Toyota Scion while riding his bike outside the school in May. You could see the car was totaled. Tomachev's coach arrived at the crash just moments after it happened and immediately assumed the worst.
But then I see David sitting up, just bleeding from the mouth and conscious and talking. I'm like, unbelievable.
Tomachev suffered a concussion and broken jaw. You can see in this x-ray his jaw was wired shut, which prevented him from chewing for 6 weeks. But the 6'1", 235-pound athlete decided to keep up his weight by blending burgers and fries from In-N-Out and sipping them through a straw.
It tastes exactly the same. Actually, it's just you can't chew it, so it sits on your tongue.
Incredibly, Tomachev healed by the start of football season. Now his team is just days away from competing for the CIF championship. The standout lineman, who also maintains a 4.0 GPA, considers himself lucky to have made it this far.
There's got to be a reason that I'm still alive, and I enjoy that and just try to be as happy as I can.
The CIF championship game will be held this Saturday between Los Altos and Colony High Schools. I also asked David what his plans are for the future. He says he hopes to play college football and study mechanical engineering. Reporting live in Hacienda Heights, Peter Doubt, KCAL 9 News.
Good luck to him. Thanks, Peter. The San Bernardino Police Department has released a new photo of wounded Officer Gabriel Garcia. Officer Garcia was shot in the head last August. This is a new picture of him with his family. Doctors say his long-term prognosis is unknown, but they are encouraged by his progress so far.
Well, this is the 10th anniversary of the California Hospital Trauma Center in downtown Los Angeles. Since it opened in 2004, it has taken in more than 22,000 emergency trauma patients. It has helped save countless lives, including LAPD SWAT officer Nelson Fong, who nearly lost his leg in a shootout 4 months ago.
We're engaged in a gun battle with this guy. He had an assault rifle with a very large magazine, 90-round capacity, and he was firing. We're firing back, and I was looking right at him. I was about ready to shoot, but he shot me first.
Well, surgeons were able to save Fong's leg, and he hopes to be back at work in a few months. California Hospital is the busiest private trauma center in Los Angeles.
A North Hills baby who was given a 1% chance of survival is now thriving. His name is Bobby, and tonight he celebrated a milestone. He turned 1 and attended a party thrown by the doctors and nurses who helped save his life. KCAL 9's Pat Harvey shows us his family's long and scary journey to get to tonight's first birthday party.
Pink and green. Little hands, little toes, and their first child on the way. Everything Nancy and Bobby Natoya from North Hills wished for.
We just couldn't stop smiling and laughing.
I was elated. It was unbelievable.
But soon things changed. What started as pain ended in her delivering at 5.5 months. With her life at risk and the baby's, there was no choice. And the chance of the baby surviving?
They told us that he had 1% chance to nothing, and they said, we're sorry.
I still get emotional over it. And just having to go through and watching her go through that, and then the baby.
Bobby Jr. weighed just 1 pound 3 ounces. His dad's hand is how big he was. His wedding ring larger than his foot. In NICU at Providence St. Joseph Medical Center in Burbank, he struggled every day. Chronic lung and heart issues, and so much more.
There was some scary moments where he could have gone, but he's a fighter. I waited so long. I waited so long to hold him.
I cried when he was born. I cried when I held him.
You can sing a rainbow. And then the miracle. The 1% chance of living baby got stronger. And 1 month after what was supposed to be his real delivery date, last May, Bobby Jr. came home. From just over a pound to this.
I want to thank the NICU staff at St. Joseph's, the doctors. Unbelievable.
So today, on the day Nancy delivered at 5.5 months, exactly 1 year later, the baby with that 1% chance now celebrates his first birthday.
Believe in miracles because they do happen.
And that was our Pat Harvey reporting. He looks so strong now and healthy,
what a
doesn't
story.
he?
What a
Looks
sweet
great.
baby. And Pat joins us now along with Paul Majors for a preview of what's coming up tonight on CBS 2 News at 11. Hello there.
Hello there, Susie and Sylvia. Minutes away at 11 o'clock. Jon Stewart goes off on police incidents that are causing a racial rift. But the political commentator may have made a big mistake when he included a local one.
Yeah, they didn't quite steal Christmas, but police say they did manage to make off with a $1,000 tree. That's all ahead on CBS News at 11. Sylvia and Susie, back to you.
All right, Paul and Pat, thank you so much for that.
All right, so we have had a lot of rain this week. Maybe a little bit more headed our way, Rich.
You're right, ladies. Take a look at this video out of San Bernardino. We've had a number of showers through the area throughout the day today and overnight tonight. They got hit yesterday. They're getting hit again today, and we'll see scattered shower activity continue. Totals through the San Bernardino area at nearly 2 inches already for a 2-day period. Let's go to the maps. I'm going to show you what's going on right now. There's our satellite and radar composite. The flow of moisture continues out of the southwest. As a matter of fact, I talked earlier a couple of shows ago about how we could see some real-time lightning strikes and thunderstorm activity out of this storm. Albeit this is off the border into Mexico, almost at the Gulf of California, as a matter of fact, but still nonetheless, there's a lot of instability there. And we're watching another area of low pressure that could be here Friday to possibly bring us even more shower activity, but it looks like we're just going to catch the tail end of that particular trough and may end up being high and dry with regard to that. There's the satellite and radar composite with the moisture flooding in over Southern California, albeit scattered at best at this hour. There's the current Doppler radar. There's still a little moisture offshore to come in overnight tonight, but as we go in a little closer, you can see a mix of rain and snow through the higher elevations. The pink is a mix. The purple is frozen snow. This is just outside of the Big Bear area at this hour at the higher elevations of the Big Bear Mountains. As we back out, we'll talk about the coastal flood advisory still in effect. We're talking about beach hazard statements up. Flash flood watch is still in effect. That coastal flood advisory. We expect high tide tomorrow morning near 7 a.m. Could see tides anywhere from 6.5 to 7 feet high. So those low-lying areas that are prone to some flooding. Take a look at the totals for the 2-day event. Downtown over 1 1/3 inches. Pasadena almost 2.5 inches. Bel Air almost 2 inches. Van Nuys at 1.6 inches. Canoga Park almost 2 inches. Oxnard at over 1.5 inches. Take a look at these totals. Yucaipa Ridge almost 10 inches of rain. Running Springs almost 4 inches of rain. Over 2 inches of rain in Yorba Linda. Over 1 inch, almost 1.25 inches in Santa Ana, Ontario at 1.70 inches. So you can see we're collecting a lot of rain in the 2-day period. So much so we've made a lot of headway with regard to our 2014-2015 water year, which started July 1st, will go to next June 30th. So far this year, we should have collected 1.14 inches. That's normal. Where are we at with the 2-day period? Look at that, 2.19 inches, which means we are up 5/100ths of an inch for the water year, but way behind with regard to the drought here in Southern California. Futurecast, upper right-hand corner. Watch the timestamp. I'll step through like every couple of hours here. This is 11:30 p.m. tonight. Some fairly good cells coming in through Los Angeles County, and then by 1:30 over the San Bernardino Mountains. I'll keep it into motion. 3:30, things start moving off to the north and east, but still more scattered shower activity, very heavy clouds, and a lot of moisture lining up along the coast. This is 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Height of the rush hour, still spotty shower activity, very cloudy skies. Cool temperatures continue throughout the day tomorrow. 3:30 in the afternoon, still a lot of scattered shower activity, so it's going to continue through tomorrow night at this time with scattered shower activity. That's why in the 7-day extended outlook, I've got very heavy clouds tomorrow with about a 20% chance of seeing another scattered shower. 67 to 68 degrees tomorrow. Mostly cloudy skies on Friday. Not much change in the temperatures, but then we start clearing out and boosting in daytime high temperatures Saturday and Sunday. Full sunshine by the time Monday rolls around. More on all this when I join Pat and Paul over on our sister station CBS 2 coming up at 11 o'clock. Ladies, back to you.
Okay, very good, Rich. Thank you so much for all of that. And be sure to watch CBS 2 News tomorrow morning for the very latest on the weather and traffic conditions. You can join our Rick Garcia, Sharon Tay, Evelyn Taft, and Stephanie Simmons from 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Sierra Santos, what's next in sports?
The Lakers haven't won 3 games in a row in over a year, but had a chance to end that streak tonight in D.C. Plus, the Clippers also looking to extend their own win streak with the Magic in town. And we'll hear from MLS MVP Robbie Keane. That's all next on Sports Central.
Time now for the Bank of the West Business Report on KCAL 9. Bank of the West. Go West.
Google is expanding in Southern California with plans to build an office complex in Playa Vista, and there are reports Google could hire up to 6,000 new employees. Playa Vista is a master planned office and housing development near Marina del Rey. It's fast becoming a tech and entertainment hub.
At a congressional hearing today, a top executive for airbag maker Takata insisted a nationwide recall is not necessary. Defective Takata airbags are linked to 5 deaths and dozens of injuries. 10 different car makers use the airbags, including Honda. Today, Honda voluntarily expanded its own recall nationwide. And good job news pushed the Dow and S&P to new records. The Dow closed at 17,912, up 33 points. The Nasdaq gained 18, and the S&P 500 finished up at 2074, up 7.
Twitter is expanding its efforts against online harassment. In the coming weeks, the social media giant says it will give users new tools to report cyberbullying. Twitter is also promising to speed up response time to complaints about harassing tweets. And that's your business tonight.
Thanks for watching KCAL 9 News at 10.
The Sports Central starts right now.
Sports Central on KCAL 9 is sponsored by Orchard Supply Hardware.
Hey, and welcome to the Midweek Sports Central. I'm Sierra Santos. Ahead, we'll hear from MLS MVP Robbie Keane, and the Clippers look to make it 6 straight. But we start with the Lakers, playing the second of a back-to-back in the nation's capital. The Purple and Gold have won 2 in a row and are unbeaten against the East this season. Tonight against the Wizards, they'll look to make it 3 straight for the first time since November 2013. And Kobe Bryant would get off to a hot start in the first. Early on, Kobe gets the ball near the corner and sinks the tough fadeaway to make it tied at 4. And then later in the first, Kobe pulls up from beyond the arc and drains the 3. Bryant had 15 points in the first. Second quarter now, Lakers up 44-36. Wesley Johnson fires one from 3-point range and gets it to fall. Lakers up 11. But the Wizards would fight back. Second quarter, Marcin Gortat kicks it out to an airborne Bradley Beal for the jam. and the Wizards cut the deficit to 6 later in the second. Washington on the break. John Wall drives and finds a wide open Beal for 3. He knocks it down and the Wizards tie it at 52. Fourth quarter, Lakers down 80-69. Ronnie Price with the bounce pass assist to Nick Young for the 3. Lakers down 8 later in the fourth after some good passing from Price from downtown. Lakers down 97-91, but the Lakers just couldn't manage a comeback. John Wall shoots and gets the courtesy bounce to sink the three-pointer. Lakers lose by a score of 111-95.
They made some big shots. They made some big plays. You know, we missed a lot of easy ones. And you know, Bill was terrific. You know, as was John Wall. They were both just phenomenal young players.
I thought we played pretty good the whole game. I thought our effort was pretty, pretty decent. You know, I thought that they just got a little bit more aggressive. Their intensity level went up. It seems like each quarter. You know, and then that being said, with a minute and a half left, we're still right there. You know, so we just needed more guys to join the party.
So, after splitting their first 2 games of December, tonight's Interplex poll question asks, of the 15 games this month, how many do you think the Lakers will win? 1-3, 4-6, 7-9, or more than 10? To vote, visit our website. Results tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the Clippers maintaining their road trip success, winning at Staples on Monday night and looking to extend their season-high win streak to 6 in a row tonight against the Orlando Magic. The Clips are undefeated against teams with sub-500 records, with Orlando coming in at 7-13. Griffin getting loose before the game tonight. First quarter, Clippers up 22-11 after some nice passing. Griffin finds DeAndre Jordan for the slam, and LA goes up by 13. Second quarter, Clippers in transition. JJ Redick passes to Matt Barnes, then he returns the favor to Redick. And Redick hits the wide open 3 to give the Clippers a 53-41 lead. Third quarter, LA leads by 15. Jordan comes away with the block, and then the Clippers are off. Chris Paul pushes the ball up the court and finds Redick, who hits another